Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 249. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. You guys know what time it is. It's Book Insight Friday. But I'm not delving into a book today, so maybe I should just call it Author Insight Friday. I thought about that. Maybe I should switch it. When I'm not talking about a book I've written or a book I've read, I should just say it's Author Insight Friday. So anyway, today will be the first installment of about 3 of these that I'm going to be doing. Might do more in the near future, but I do have 3 planned out. Challenges I face as an author. So I'm going to hit on 3 points today, and then I'll do another 3, on my next installment, and then, you get my drift. So let's get into it. Number 1, writing content no one has. Now, I write about social issues. I write about a myriad of different things. And it's interesting when people find out, like, I'm a writer and an author, and I get asked, what do I write about? And I say, I write about social issues. And it's like, oh, well, what social issues? And then I just run down like this long list, drunk driving, domestic violence, racial issues, police brutality, police corruption, women's issues, men's issues, mental health, all this stuff, right? But no one knows and realizes that I have to constantly be creative and innovative in what I write about. And I do look at the market and I see, what's being written and things of that nature. And I know that a lot of the content that I've written about has really not been written about that much. Or there are articles about it, or maybe there's a few books, but there aren't as many books. Especially with the Woman's Worth series, A Man's Plight series, like those series were very crucial on my writing journey because I needed to really talk about, mental health. I needed to talk about maternity leave. I needed to talk about paternity leave. I needed to talk about postpartum depression. I needed to talk about mental health and getting therapy. Like, there's just a lot of things that I needed to like really write about. So that's the challenge for me, to write content that no one else is really stepping up to the plate and writing about. And it's a beautiful thing, but then it's also like, oh goodness, like how do I push the envelope a little bit? And another thing is I've written a lot of book series, and now I'm lagging behind in standalone books. So now out of the 48 books that I have currently published, only 7 of them are standalones. So yeah, to think about all of the other books, they're all part of a book series, either a 5-book series or a 6-book series. And then right now I'm in the middle of doing a 12-book series for this whole year. So writing content that no one has, that has just been my challenge. And I'm getting back to the standalone books for 2024, just to give you guys the heads up. And it's going to be some very interesting topics. That's all I'm going to say. Not going to give it away. Number 2, writing controversial content. So yes, as I just said, like probably about a minute ago, it's pushing the envelope and literally just punching you in the chest and saying, hey, this is a social issue that is major, that's going on in this world, and we need to open up conversations about it. And they need to be uncomfortable conversations, not just the, hey, well, what do you think about that? And then it's like a 5-minute conversation and that's it. No, we need to have group discussions on a lot of these things. And not everyone is ready to have those uncomfortable conversations. They'd rather push it to the side, sweep it under the rug. And then unfortunately, those situations end up at people's front doors. And that is what I am trying to avoid. So being controversial, being the bad guy, being the villain in some ways, yeah, it needs to be done, unfortunately. And look, I'm not the prototypical guy. And this is not my work, this is God's work. So this is not, anything that, I, just all of a sudden like it came to me. No, it didn't. God gave me these talents, gifts, and abilities. My guardian angels watch over me. I always feel like, my grandparents are my guardian angels, but, that's just me, how I feel. But anyway, so I know that writing controversial content is needed. It's necessary. And I'm here for it. And, writing kids with guns, right? You would think like kids with guns, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is about kids getting access to guns and they're killing each other. Well, it's about gun control in America. It's about school shootings. And now we've moved on to supermarkets and malls and, please, grocery stores, things of that nature. So it's not like it's just school shootings, but, it's a very controversial 5-book series, and it makes you think a little bit, especially toward the end of the book series. Makes you go, there's more that meets the eye. There's more that's going on that is being told to you. And the problem is we don't do our research. The problem is we don't sit and really analyze things. And I'm controversial, and I'm here for it. And there are people that live a life of cognitive dissonance, and that's perfectly fine. You just can't be in a discussion of what's really going on around us. All right, moving on to the third and the last thing, which is challenging myself and really being true to who I am. Because I wouldn't be me if I wasn't able to really say, okay, God, you want me to write, this? All right, well, I'll do it, but I don't know what's going to come of it. So, and that was the Code Blue series, right? I mean, Code Blue Part 1, that's all it was. It was just like, okay, I wrote that. And then before I knew it, I was like, you know what? This needs to be a series. This needs to be a journey of a police officer and what he's dealing with on the streets every day and the behind the scenes stuff. It just makes you think. It doesn't have to all necessarily be truth, but a lot of it is truth. And it's a fictional story, but, it's fictional based on reality of what is going on in the world, right? So there are topics that I did vow that I'd never write about. Well, there are two. One of them I'm sticking to my guns and never doing. And the other one, I am stepping into that realm, and it's going to be a standalone book next year. And I do have a book cover for it. And I'm going to start drafting the whole idea and concept of the books and the backstory and all that. Yeah, that's coming real soon. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. That's all I can say. I can't tell you guys. I just can't. Maybe I will at the end of the year when I do my wrap up for the year and I do my last Book Insight Friday for the year, which will be in mid-December, before I go on my nice little 2-week hiatus, which is what I do every year. And I'll share with you guys what books are coming next year. But in the meanwhile, my other 48 books that I have, please feel free to check those out. They are everywhere except Amazon. You guys know this by now. for those who are the consistent listeners. And I do have stuff in audio. So that's a beautiful thing, isn't it? I Woke Up a Black Man, Code Blue 1, 2, and 3, and The Struggles of Growth for Man Part 1. So you guys have audios. You guys are listening to my stuff now. So, hey. I am on payhip.com/Jamel Crothers. Jamel Crothers is just all one. All is one. There's no hyphens or spaces or anything like that. So yeah, payhip.com/Jamel Crothers. You guys will be able to find my audiobooks there. And you guys can feel free to listen to them. But yes, challenging myself and really trying to bring out the best version of me and who I am. That's, always something that I'm always trying to continually do. Continuing to think of new book ideas based off of conversations I have with people, television, TV shows that I immerse myself in and watch and say, okay, well, this can be a book, but this can be a book in a different light and in a different direction, and things of that nature. So always chugging away. Even books that I read. Right now I'm reading Huey Newton, To Die for the People, and he chronicles his life and the speeches and his goal for the Black people and all that stuff. So learning about history, reading different books on that, which is going to allow me to write more books in the near future. So these are the things that I face, and these are the challenges that I face as an author on a regular basis. It's not just, a here and there thing. This is constant, and this is all the time. So just know that we as writers and authors, we do face plenty of challenges, and we know that we need to continually grow, improve, and learn. So with that said, that's my podcast for today. Please feel free to subscribe, like, share all of these podcasts that I, record and things of that nature. There's a good chance that I will be taking a break at some point. I just don't know when, but I will see. I will keep you guys in the loop. With that said, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good weekend. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.